great to have all of you guys here. Geetanjali, you can get comfortable here. I set the context, right? But would love to hear from you guys as to how you are trying to solve for, say, protecting and empowering the investor interest. How do you address to scams that are happening? How do you build basically more safety around how do we feel as investors, basically, right? So I'm going to start with Geetanjali. What is the most effective behavioral change or financial literacy Franklin Templeton has unlocked for investor protection, and how is it elevating these efforts for local and diverse audiences?
Right. It's such an important question that you started the panel with, the discussion. In a country where you're seeing a growing number of investors across the BFSI, not just the mutual fund industry, but insurance and banks and FDs, stock markets. Putting in security measures to make sure that you're doing fine and doing marketing campaigns is not just compliance. It is the need of the hour, right? It's not just about making the customers read the fine print. The mutual funds are subject to market risk. It's much more than that. So I think when you get the simple, relatable, contextual content out there and not just flamboyant and fancy marketing campaigns which have an outright reach, I think that's when we are talking. So it's great that you've brought this topic as a panel discussion. Franklin Templeton has over the years done many initiatives. We've come up with marketing campaigns, but I think concentrate on doing more real content creation for our investor base. So we have something called as the Franklin Templeton Academy, which actually runs multiple investor education videos, makes investors take informed decisions in a safer manner. Second, our focus has always been women and Gen Z, and I think they understand the language of safety first and then about creation of brand love. Women have been naturally savers, and they always look at safety first more than anything else, whether it's driving a car or driving their investment strategy. So from that perspective, we've done a lot of initiatives by creating micro content, bite-sized content, which is consumable on different social media platforms. We make sure that we have influencers who communicate the right message at the right time. We make sure that while they're transacting, right from going through from the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, they feel safe throughout the journey. So we've made sure that we talk to our target audience in the language that they understand, in the format they would love to interact and engage with us, and keep it simple, rather than just complexing the whole piece. So I think regular engagement, going on sharing that, it's good to share, but not share your passwords. Constantly making sure that it's there in their, on the website when they log in. It's there in their account statement when they get it from CAMS or from any of the RTAs, or whenever they are calling us up at the call center, the message is loud and clear. So rather than promoting our products or our new fund offers, we make sure that the first piece of communication that they receive from our side is about how safe they should be while transacting across any platform. So that's very, very critical. It's basic hygiene for us, and we make sure that it's not just an ad that we put out there. So very similar fashion, just imagine a FMCG product advertising big time on television, but when you actually go to the Kinara shop, you don't find it as a product. So I think we are not just delivering safety, we are delivering trust. And every aspect of it translates into trust, because we are in the business of money. And if that's not there, then our basic hygiene is not in place. So overall, webinars, making sure that we communicate in a regular fashion. At every given opportunity, they see safety pronounced at Franklin Templeton. We make sure we do that.
Okay. And since large educative campaigns across the board have also had an element of TV, right, because of the kind of reach, have you seen what CTV is enabling you to do with your campaigns?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, personally, I've been an early cord cutter, and I think, moved on from the cable to the connected TV many moons ago. And I think CTV is the place we need to be because that's where our customer is. We have 50 million more customers on CTV today, and I think you don't have a choice, but you have to be there, And for Franklin Templeton, our audiences, again, I'm repeating, but it is whom we targeting, our Gen Z, women, and if I just have to focus a bit on Gen Z, they like some premiumness, they like a bit of status, and for them, it's a status symbol to be watching everything that they watch on CTV or on the OTT platforms. So if you're not there, you're kind of losing the plot right up front. Also, we find that if we work on different cohorts, and in those cohorts, we see that, you want to target a mutual fund investor who already has a credit card, who's already got a car, who's probably, traveling to Europe in his next summer holiday with his family. And if I have to look at that kind of a demographic and psychographic profile, then I do want to target CTV because that's where that's where my investors are, right? We're not looking at only first-time investors. We're looking at people who have already been there, done that, and understand the complexity attached to advanced investing. So we make sure that we connect on CTV, and I think somewhere it's a mixed bag of media. It cannot be either or under any circumstances. It has to be mainline, it has to be CTV, it has to be influencer, social media influencers, it has to be social media. But yes, depending on what kind of campaign, whom do you want to reach out to, if your target audience is senior citizens, then you may just want to revisit it, right? If your target audience is Bharat and not India, you may just want to reconsider it because they may not yet be on CTV. So I think we've been early cord cutters. We've seen fantastic results. Probably it's like 60-40% ratio between male and female. So I kind of strike that balance because my target audience is women, and I am finding them on CTV. Even from an age group perspective, 18 to 45, that's like bang on targeting my audience. So it's the premiums attached to watching CTV. That's where I want to do. Franklin Templeton is a brand, been there in India for the last 30 years, but mutual funds are our bread and butter, and that's where we want to target people who know us as a brand and who understand what does it take to invest with us. So yes, I hope it.
You are running in order, but I would like to come to you, Krunal. So for NSE, what's your guiding principle for building public trust systematically, and how large platforms like CTV also enable non-promotional?
Okay, so before answering your question in terms of our strategic approach, let me throw some data points, interesting insight with regards to what NSE and what capital market we are talking about. India, we do have a presence with 23 crore investor base, and individual investor base, in case unique ID, if you ask me, is 12 CR. If you compare 12 CR investor base is equivalent to overall population of Japan or Germany.
Wow.
So if it be a country, it's in a similar nature to Japan or Germany. In terms of reach, if you ask me, more than 99.85% of pin code has been covered through our network. So 28 pin codes in India where we don't have access, 25 out of it are airports, so where we can't do KYC. So that shows our strength in terms of from Ladakh to the extreme jungle of Arunachal Pradesh to Kanyakumari to Kutch desert, where we do have access over there. With regards to the trust which had been built by Indian consumer base, I mean, 1 out of 4 investors are female, where we see that our per capita income is somewhere close to 2 lakh rupees, 34,000 currently. 30 years back, it was 11,000 rupees. Now, 2 lakh 34,000 rupees per capita income is somewhere close to USD 2,500. Similar in nature in terms of market cap, there is no other country in globe. The next country which holds similar kind of market cap, capital market is somewhere close to 2,500 USD. Okay. Sorry, 25,000 USD. So that shows that while we are not that cash rich, we don't have that kind of high disposable income, but still we have a trust in capital market. While on the other side, the psychology says that a brother might not trust another brother to shell out of money, but when we know that there is some companies getting listed in some other different corner of the earth, or maybe in India, we might trust and we file for that. So coming back to the listing part, we have beaten NASDAQ and NYSE. More than 268 listing has been done last year, more than working days. So this all shows that, okay, fine, there is a trust, which is a strong brand pillar for us to work on it. And we have worked on that part also. Coming back to technology, we do have a response time in nanoseconds. So 1 nanosecond is close to 1 billionth of a singular second. There's no as such similar ecosystem in a current scenario where there is a search engine, renowned search engine, I can't name the brand, or video streaming device or platform, again globally number 1, or maybe the marketplace. They do have one less zero when it comes to the response mechanism. So again, that is something where we have a homegrown setup which been thriving for past 30 years. 30 years journey says that, okay, India's most successful DPI and fintech is no other brands but the NSE, because when this word DPI and fintech was not been coined, we do have a case study ready, and we, all of us, I think, been trusted, and that's the reason we have such kind of capital market. So technology, trust are two strong pillars, and also collaboration. Based on that, my brand archetype is sage personality. Now, sage person can't do preachy, can't be too promotional when it comes to the approach through marketing. So we have decided, okay, any kind of positioning which we'll take has to be on an educational route. We should have to support an investor with some guided message, what not to do, what is right for you, what should be your approach. And that's how we are to search kar, samajh kar, invest kar. That's the philosophy which we carry from past so many years. While we know that the base is so strong, so big, our media mix should be smartly utilized. So that's how we are not limiting ourselves to CTV.
Sure.
Sadly, I'm saying that is completely full strength 360-degree approach which we take. And more than 14,000 camps, on-ground camps, marketing activation, what we call it, or investor awareness programs which we have done in a year. So there is no as such FMCG brands who do such kind of activation camps to sell their microwaves or the perfumes or any goods which they want to sell it for the commercial purpose. So this shows that, okay, for us, our complete media mix drives towards investor protection. And that's the reason we churn out a different demographic base, reach out to different scams which are happening and understand how it's happening, create a different cohorts, and link that with the multi-level targeted approach. Multi-level target help us to utilize CTV much smarter than the typical vanilla route where we just simply throw the programmatic media.
Got it.
So that's how we get the benefit.
Do you also want to touch upon those, when we were chatting offline, on the 160 mediums that you also use, and 100% of all your campaigns are educative?
Yeah, technically, when we engage with such a wide and vivid demography, more than 12 different languages, we'll have to work on it, and that's how our communication has been crafted. So that reason, we touch upon the best of best media to the smallest media player, so that our investor get a benefit in terms of understanding what we say good for them or not is not good for them. We do have another campaign which will get live in next 1 or 2 weeks, which is again on a scam related different concerns. Now there is something called double trading, there is something called WhatsApp or Telegram based investor tips which are not right for you. Then there is some deepfake concern, and then there's a very complex scenario where you do the pump and dump strategy. So all different scams are there, and the different audience base are there. We understand everyone is not looking for such kind of message. That's how we have a new approach, which you'll see in a mid or first week of October. And I can't say much about that campaign right now, but definitely it will be some different route where we haven't touched upon it in much.
Got it. So I'm glad you shared these insights with us, since you're a regulatory body also. So if I were to just summarize this, that also there are 160 mediums, but CT is also one of them is strong, because your entire investor base is also basis CEOs, CXOs, and also someone who is in the tier 2 market, where a lot of wealth creation and material inclusion is also coming through, right? Plus 12 multilingual, so there are each touch point for that also plus. So great, I guess large educative campaigns to just build trust. Yeah. So coming to you, Manas, from an agency perspective, right? What's the most effective way that you've designed a fraud awareness campaign? If there's any case study or if there's a on brand that you would like to touch upon?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that. Most of the brands now, like even if you look at the financial lending space or the insurance space or any other space for that matter, what people are doing is all the brands are coming together for more of the awareness of the customer, and they're talking about what is right, what is wrong. They're also talking about the RBI guidelines as to how we should be aware of what all sorts of frauds are happening. And what we've been doing over a period of time is to create first the personas of people who largely get affected by it. Like in the financial space, a lot of elderlies and a lot of kids, they get into the scope of where they can be actually scammed very, very easily. So creating those target personas and creating used cases for each one of them, so that all that is put in place. And that's what you're talking to the consumer. You're not always talking brand ki mere ko khareed lo and buy me, I'm better than the other, and chest thumping like that. But a brand assuring and reassuring the customer that you are a safe brand, and there's a certain way to conduct yourself when it comes to financial transactions, speaks a lot about the brand itself. So we need to do that for sure. Also, in the entire scope of marketing, be it the UI UX, you have two-factor authentication, you have DigiLocker coming in place, you have a KYC coming in place. So there is ample and more which have been done by the brands, but it needs to be spoken about, that it has come from here to here, because that's what the brand is investing in, to better themselves up and also making the customer, more safe and in a place where they're reassured.